What's going on YouTube? Roxas, the Torterra, and today we are bringing you a different video of sorts. We are going to be talking about the new titles that have been trademarked and I guess officially, yeah, it's actually officially released, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. They were released like, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago. I just haven't made a video on it. I know a whole bunch of the PokeTubers made videos about them and whatnot, but I pretty much wanted to take my time with it and whatnot, and I haven't uploaded for a little while. The only thing I've uploaded so far recently is the co-op with me and Frozen Colors. We're doing Pokemon Ethereal Gate, so you guys can check that out as well on the channel. We're alternating between episodes, so I would upload an episode on my channel 1 week, and then Chorus would have a episode on his channel another week. But anyway, getting into today's video, we are actually going to be talking about Pokemon Sun and Moon and like speculation on it as well. Like, we have two titles, the Sun and Moon, so people are already assuming that certain Pokemon have maybe certain Mega Evolutions, like how Espeon would evolve in, might have some sort of Mega Evolution, or just have some sort of bearing on the title Sun, because it evolves, Eevee evolves during the day, or in the morning rather, with the sun up. So that's what people are associating it with. That, and then Solrock as well from 3rd gen. Solrock is just a Pokemon that's on the 3rd gen Pokedex, but it has no other, like, it's just kind of like there. It pretty much doesn't, it's just like, oh, I'm Solrock, and it's just there. There's a couple other Mons I'm sure that have a relation to Sun, but I would have to look through the Pokedex to understand what any other type of speculation in dealing with the title is. But Moon is also another one where Umbreon is an Eevee evolution as well, or evolution rather, and Eevee evolves during the night into an Umbreon. So people are assuming that maybe Umbreon will have some sort of bearing on this title as well as maybe perhaps Cresselia may have some sort of dealing with this game as well, because it's called Pokemon Moon. And then if you look at the icon here too, you can see that there's like it has like a lunar ish or esque like type shape on the title. It's like a crescent moon type thing going on here, but it also has a resemblance to Cresselia as well, like how Cresselia's head looks shaped like a moon. So some people have a feeling that it may deal with that as well. That's all speculation, obviously. That's why I'm making this video. But in terms of it being another generation, I believe honestly that it'd be another generation entirely, because in the Nintendo Direct they tell us that that this game would work with Auras, XY, and it works with Pokebank and whatnot, saying that we can transfer our Pokemon to those games by using Pokebank and whatnot. And I don't know if trading, I wonder if local trading will work in that sense too. But I guess local trading wouldn't work, if you see what I'm catching now. See, the fact that they're saying that trading will work, right? In terms of the Pokebank, like, you don't really trade in Pokebank, you store Pokemon in Pokebank and then you send them over to your previous game or your new game. So with that knowledge, seeing just that little spectrum of information that we've been given, I pretty much deduct that these games are actually going to be Gen 7, because it makes more sense that way. Like, we just came out of Gen 6, which we weren't really here that long, to be completely honest. We've only been to Kalos, and we've stayed here for maybe about a year or two, because we have X and Y out, and then afterwards we moved on from X and Y and went back to Hoenn region with the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire, that being Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So with those two titles, we didn't really stay in Kalos very long, to be completely honest with you guys. And some people are hinting that Z should have been a thing, and we could have had another part of Kalos that we didn't get to travel through in the previous two games. So maybe that's another thing that we can look upon. But just the fact that in the Nintendo Direct they say that, you know, Pokebank will work with Pokemon Sun and Moon, in terms of it being like, oh, you'll get Pokemon from X, Y, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They never said trade. I don't think they ever said anything about trade value in terms of the game itself, actually trading Mons from the game to X and Y, which to X and Y, well, X and Y's generation rather, like Gen 6. Because we'll categorize Gen 6 as Auras and X and Y, because that's what it is. They're in Gen 6 together now. Although, as I said before, that Auras is actually the two titles that take place in Gen 3, but it's part of the Generation 6 now, because, you know, the graphics are up to date, and the Pokemon that are in Gen 6 are actually in the Gen 3 remake. So like I'm saying, looking at that, the fact that you have to use Pokebank to send certain mons across automatically kind of have this this idea that you can't trade Pokemon from Sun and Moon. Well, you can trade Pokemon. I have a feeling you can trade Pokemon from Sun and Moon, but of course only Pokemon from the generation that that game is up to, which leads me to believe that, you know, that these two titles might actually be Gen 7, and you can't trade certain Pokemon from Gen 7 to Gen 6 because those Pokemon haven't been found in Gen 6 yet, in that world that the game is in, that takes place. So that leads me to believe that. Well, that's just a little part. I'm sure there's other people who've talked about way more things than I have, and I'm sure that they're probably way more backed in information because they probably went through and researched. I'm kind of just going off my brain and what I've listened to during the Nintendo Direct, which was probably about 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember now. Yeah, we also have some screenshots here too. This is one of the screenshots. There seems to be like a. Some people think this is a gym. This could actually be a gym. That it could be a gym. Maybe it's a gym. There's a fountain in front of it. This could also be a Pokemon Center. It looks like a Pokemon Center to me, like a huge Pokemon Center, or even a Pokemart. But look at the graphics on that. That looks amazing. Now, looking back at Gen 6, when we first got the Kalos, it kind of has a upped version of Lumoy City. It's an upped version. Like you can see it from this angle right here, and I think angles and spin arounds in Pokemon started in, I feel like that started in Gen 5. Like when you first got to Castelia City, there was a view that you had from the area where the boats come in. You could see a whole bunch of stuff. You could see the boats, the ships that are there and whatnot. And Castelia City was supposed to represent Manhattan, like in New York. So when you look at Manhattan and you look at Castelia City, there's so many different places in that area that you'd have to go around the place. So like in the game, you're walking around, you're running around. There's different angles at a certain point. When you get to a fountain, there's like a fountain in the middle of the city, right before you go to the next route. I think it's like Route 4 or something like that, or Route 3. And before you go there, it's different angles. You can see that. Even in the city, you can go down alleys and whatnot, and there's different angles that the game takes. And even when you're crossing the bridge to get to Castelia City, there's a whole different angle there. There's a whole different angle that it takes when you're running. You start off from maybe overview of the character that you're playing as, and then as you're running forward, the camera slowly tilts down, and you see the character running on your screen, and you can see like the character's like now in front of you, kind of like the back of the character's in front of you, and the character's running down the bridge, and you can see the bridge, like the awning of the bridge, like the head piece of the bridge, and you're running through the bridge. So like the different angles started from there. Now you see this angle right here, it kind of reminds me of Lumoy City when you're on your bike and whatnot. You're going around in circles. Like where people used to hatch eggs, like the central part of Lumoy City, they would go around in a circle and hatch eggs there. That part was like kind of like an overview of the game. Like you could see that part of the city in an overview. When you're going down streets in Lumoy City, you're at a certain angle constantly. You'll turn. It was actually really difficult to navigate in Lumoy City when I first got there in the game, because I was like, what the heck is up with this camera? It's pretty cool. I like what they did with the camera, but it was a little confusing because you want to walk up and sometimes you turn left, because that was like some weird way of the game registering you going in that direction. You would slowly turn left or going up rather, and then the screen would move in that direction and you'd go up. Like it was really weird, but like they kind of wanted the angles, like they kind of want to show off the city more in the game. So like looking at this, it looks really good. Like you get to see a whole building. Like that is amazing. I feel like this is like a point in time in the city where you walk up, where that little segue area is, where you see the bushes. You would walk up from a certain area in the city, and you'd walk up here, and you'd see this. And as you're running to the center or whatever this place is, the camera would pan in closer to the character. But if they wanted to keep it like this, they could just have the character running, and the character gets smaller as they're going towards the actual place that you're about to go into. So yeah, I like that idea. And then here's a close-up version of it, and this kind of leads people to believe that it's a Pokemon Center because they have like the Pokeballs on top of podiums, and like it kind of has that look. And there's two people out there. I don't know if those are trainers or that could even be like, I don't know, people, not PC characters, not playable characters, that they're just there, that are just there, just sitting there talking. You could talk to them and whatnot and figure out what's in here, like what's going on here or what's going on in the city and whatnot. Take a look at the fountain. There's a Horsey fountain, so people are already speculating that, oh, maybe you'll be able to catch Gen 1 Pokemon in this game as well. Like during your actual playthrough of the game, you could catch Gen 1 Pokemon. There's a Horsey there. So yeah, I like the idea. I really like the art, how they did this. It's really cool. We'll touch on this picture in a second as well. That'll probably be the last thing I touch on. And we have this as well. this it looks like schematics or like blueprints for the trucks that are in the game. So I believe we first saw like we saw trucks and whatnot like in, I feel like in second gen we saw trucks. First gen you see like, you don't really see too many automobiles in Gen 1. You see Gen 2 you see an automobile and whatnot just sitting in a city, maybe sitting on the corner in a city, or maybe in Gen 3 you definitely start the game in an actual pickup truck, like you're in the back of the pickup truck and you're moving with your parents to home and whatnot. And that's like one of the only times you pretty much see vehicles like that in the game. And if you ever do see a vehicle, it'll probably be stationary. But in Gen 5, like when you're crossing the bridge to Castelia City, there's plenty. There's I believe there's traffic on the bridge. Yeah, I believe there's traffic on that bridge. And if I'm wrong, I know that when you leave Castelia City on your way to Nambaza City, there you go through the Route 4 or Route 3 it is, in the desert. It is like a desert area. There's a desert area, and then once a certain point in the desert, there's a highway above you, and you can see cars passing non-stop. And that's like one of the other times that's like one of the only times you actually see vehicles like constantly stationary in a Pokemon game. And then even late game, when you get to the second bridge, which is slipping my mind now, I feel like it's a red bridge. I don't know if it's called Charizard Bridge in the English game, but I know it's called Charizard Bridge in the Japanese game, but something similar to that. But it's a red bridge, and no, wait, is that the same bridge? There's so many bridges in 5th gen, but there's a particular bridge in the game where you're crossing, and there's traffic constantly underneath you. It's underneath the bridge, and there you can just hear it, and they have the sounds of the cars and whatnot passing, and the bridge is shaking because there's cars on it and whatnot. But yeah, that's one of the only other times we've actually seen automobiles, I feel like, in actual games. So it's really cool to see that they're coming back with that, and they actually put a lot more detail into it. Like you can see, it looks like a construction automobile over there, and then there's another one that looks like kind of like an ambulance, but maybe not even. Maybe it's like a like say like a Pokemon Center on wheels. Like there may be Pokemon Centers on wheels. Like there may not always be a Pokemon Center in front of you. So you gotta there's like a Pokemon like I don't even know what they call it, like a center on wheels, like maybe a Pokemon Center on wheels, like it's just there and you would catch it, you have to run out, you can run after it or something, and be like, oh shoot, I can heal my Pokemon from there, and you could like stop the car from moving. You could, oh, you want to heal your Pokemon? Yeah, and you just heal them and whatnot on the go, while they can always have to return to a city to go and heal now. Like that's what it seems like by looking at this automobile. I could be wrong, but as I said, it's speculation. I think that's a really cool idea if they were to induct that in Pokemon games too, because sometimes it is tedious running back and forth to a city just to heal. Late game afterwards, when you're done with the game, post game, like you have revives and all that nonsense, so you could just revive your Pokemon if they fainted and they have all their health back and whatnot. But it's really, I think that's a really cool idea to just have a Pokemon Center on wheels and whatnot. Moving on, back to this picture. This is like one of the first blueprints, I would think, that of a Gen 7 Pokemon I think they're working on. It looks like a bird type, like a bird or like a flying type rather. Maybe this is the flying type of the region that we're gonna be going to. I honestly feel like it's gonna be a different region in general, because look at the graphics on it, and look at the different type of surroundings, like the different themes, like when you saw the Pokemon Center or the Pokemon, that it could have been anything. Like the different art style compared to how Kalos looks and Hoenn looks, like that automatically gives you the feel that it's something else, that's a different region. Now this Pokemon here looks like to be a flying type. I've seen fan art of different, not on my channel, but I've seen fan art of other people's channels, like people draw stuff like this that look like this Pokemon, and it looks pretty good, like it looks like that's what it could be, but I don't have those screenshots here at the moment. But this Pokemon looks like it's to be a flying type, because look at the feet, and then the body kind of has like a bird type look to it and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much my speculation on what these titles are gonna may have to offer once we play them. But they're just like a really small surface of what they've already shown us. I'm happy they showed us at least screenshots, not just the titles, and whatnot. But yeah, that's gonna wrap things up. So if you guys enjoyed the video, mark my check out a like button, liking and friending, breaking the straight, do whatever you want to. Just don't hit the dislike button, because it makes me really sad if you do. But if you guys also enjoyed this video, leave some comments down in the section below. Tell me what you guys liked about the video, and also tell me what you guys think will be in Sun and Moon, and what do you think it's a different gen? Do you think it's still 6th gen, or do you think it's still 7th gen? Do you think the typings of the starters will be water, grass, and fire? I feel like they still will be, but what do you think their final evolutions are going to be? Let me know. Bye!